a moving tribute to the late Michael Mitchell of the College Lawn Club, who sadly passed away recently. May he rest in peace. So, Paddy, we're all set to go now.
Absolutely. The bookmakers they think Cross are strong enough favourites. Maybe not as strong as they would have in previous years. Was 8-15 for Cross, almost 2-1 for the Ogs. With a little bit of argy-bargy there, yes, Tony, just before
this rivalry has built up over the years, and it's Pearse Ogs in possession right away. And is that a foul?
Sean Moore.
Yep. Sean launches it high, looking for Clark, but it's fisted away. And that's Stephen Kernan running for the ball, and that will run out of play. Yes. So positive start from Pearse Og.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it was reasonably well dealt with by Crossmaglen. But I mean, it's gonna be very. It's always vital against Crossmaglen. It's you probably need to have a good start, a good middle, and a good end to the match. Yeah. But you certainly need to start well. If Cross get last year in the county final, before Pearse Ogs were 4 points down before they got going at all. Even though they ended up, they pulled that back by half time, were a point up heading in injury time in the first half. Those 4 points were still crucial. They played 20-25 minutes of football in the first half last year.
Right, that was Sean Moore again, just 2 good catches, and that's Shea Freeman winning a free.
Anto Duffy.
He's leaving it to Sean Moore, who's been prominent certainly in the opening minute, and he leaves it as well.
Now the size 5 has been discarded.
Paul Duffy, well, we didn't really expect Paul to stay in the corner.
No, I don't think it was. Certainly now there's 2 footballs, a bit of an issue here. One's away, but I think we're maybe going to be.
They're as confused as we are.
Yeah, absolutely. But good.
So short one from Paul Duffy.
Excellent.
Good tackle. And that's Martin Ahern, but fails to win possession. And Shea Freeman push up, and is this the first score of the game? Oh yes, indeed. Yep. Anto Duffy making his presence felt. So excellent start for Pearse Og, Paddy.
Absolutely. I mean, Anto Duffy, it was probably a slight surprise that he wasn't in the team from the start, but he's certainly been a fine footballer for the Ogs over the last number of years, from a fine footballing family. That
could have been a ploy. How often have we seen that? Late changes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not quite sure if Anto has been involved this year, but he's certainly a fine footballer.
So that's still an incredible record Crossmaglen had between 1996 and 2008, 13 titles in a row. Can you ever see that being beaten in any county?
Well, the way Cross have gone, they've just won 3 Armagh in a row, they've won 3 Ulsters in a row, and they've 2 All-Irelands as well. Mm-hmm. So no doubt if you were to ask them, they'd suggest that they could be going for 14 now.
And this is Moore again pumping it forward, but Crossmaglen dealing with it. So, chance to pump the ball forward. And a wee bit scrappy at the moment, but another long ball forward. Both teams using the long ball at the moment. And the Pearse Og man taking it far out to the corner, keeps it in play. Not getting much time up at that corner, and Gary Smith, referee, has awarded the free to Pearse Og. So, tight enough angle, but still an opportunity to increase the lead.
Yeah, looked a little fortunate perhaps. I'm not sure that he was. I'll put like this. I suspect he was glad to be fouled in that position, but
you certainly don't get much space up there against the Crossmaglen defence.
No, it's a very, very difficult free upcoming here. I think it's being taken by Ross Clark, I think, over on the far side.
Oh, it's dropped into the keeper's hands.
Absolutely. Blocked down there.
Yes.
Gallagher, I think, with the ball.
Yep.
And Stephen
Finnegan
emerging there.
Pearse Ogs determined to keep crossing their own half. Oh, that was a purple, and Moore again.
Yeah, I think that was directed towards Johnny Callahan.
And referee Gary Smith sort of antagonising the Crossmaglen fans with perhaps being a slightly over fussy, but
well, it doesn't always take an awful lot to do that, Tony. If truth be told, but. No, certainly it was. They may well have a point with that one.
So is this Paul Duffy going to have a go here?
It looks like it. Yeah, yeah. It looks like he's going to go for the post. He's about dead in the 45-metre line.
It's not impossible.
No, scoreable enough. This one, scoreable enough.
Certainly, it's been all Ogs in the opening minutes.
Absolutely, I don't think I've Cross been played 4.5 minutes. Cross haven't launched an attack of note. So
Paul Duffy from the ground, and is that? No, just wide. Got the distance, but just not quite the accuracy. Still, good start for Pearse Ogs, and I suppose if this continues, they will want to be translating this territorial advantage onto the scoreboard.
Absolutely, but I mean the two previous free kicks they were both very difficult. Don't forget now to send in your comments on Twitter at armagh-gaa, on the forum at www.armagh-gaa.net. And surely that's a cross free. No, looked very much like Johnny Hannery was fouled there, Tony, didn't it?
It did indeed. Anto Duffy in the wars. Chef Freeman seeing a lot of the ball in the opening minutes as well. Making space, pumping it in towards the full forward. But surrounded by Crossmaglen, and Cross have an opportunity now to bring the ball away and effectively launch their first attack. That's Paul Hughes.
Hughes on the ball, yeah.
Looking for Kyle Carr, but no, Jared Barton's in control.
Yeah, certainly Kyle Carr has been taking over the mantle that's been vacated by Jamie Clark this year. He's been a very, very dangerous forward for Crossmaglen.
And those are big shoes to wear, of course.
Absolutely, but the thing about, Cross are missing 5 men from the county final last year, but all the players, the 5 players that didn't start that match are Stephen Finnegan, who's had a lot of experience, Danny O'Callaghan, who's been centre half back for Cross quite a bit, Stephen Kernan, and sorry, I'll let you take over there, Tony. As Pearse Ogs.
Pearse Ogs again. That's
Sean
Clark, yes. But rather waste, just wide. I think he was trying to pass the ball, or obviously I don't think that was a shot. But
the point I was making there, Tony, is that the players across are bringing in. They've had so much experience at big games, and if we look at the names that the Pearse Ogs have brought in, possibly less experience, and often that experience tells. It was almost a fine catch from young Hannerty.
Yeah, it sort of seemed to lose his concentration there. He caught the ball well and wasn't under a great deal of pressure, but failed to gather possession. So
Kyle Brannan was fouled there. That's been taken quickly.
And Aaron Kern fails to pick the ball. So there's obviously nobody getting much time in the ball here. And once again, Gary Smith awards a free to Pearse Ogs. Just waiting for the forwards to spread out a bit. Pumps it forward, but that's cut out
the last thing you want to do is kick it down the throat of the free man.
Yep.
Danny O'Callaghan, great reader of the game.
Yep. So no quarter being given here anyway.
No, quite low scoring in the early stages.
And I think this is Kyle Carr now. Plays it back.
It's Aaron Kernan on the ball. Over as far as Hannerty. Hannerty's tried one from distance. I don't think it has the direction. No, that's harmlessly enough wide.
Johnny started the 2 opening games in the championship, or didn't start, but came on as a sub against Cavan and Wicklow. But fair to say, he hasn't really has failed to dislodge Stephen Harold and James Lavery from the starting spots at midfield.
Yeah, I suppose I suppose the thing always has been with the Crossmaglen players that they don't. I mean, this year is a slight exception. They didn't get. They're so often they're in the All Ireland final latter stages of the championship. They don't get the opportunity to play the McKenna Cup games, the National League games, and so for some of them they don't get an opportunity to establish themselves in the Armagh team. Pearse Ogs kicked a long kick out towards the midway line. I think I was punched down by Hannery. Pearse Ogs are onto the breaking ball. That's Paul Duffy there.
Yeah, Duffy dropping very deep. And Pearse Ogs coming forward, but that's well read by the Crossmaglen defender, but once again fails to hold the ball, and it's Ogs in possession. And Wex his way past 2 challenges, but
free out over Kieran. Kieran McCready, he's tuned into Armagh TV this evening. Good to have you with us, Kieran. Shane O'Neill's also watching us from home, and we're grateful, of course, to all our patrons this evening as Crossmaglen attack here.
Certainly defences are generally on top at the moment on both ends.
Absolutely. Particularly with the Pearse Ogs have put Cross under some pressure. Again, that's a ball kicked right down the throat of a defender in complete space.
Yeah. And it's a chance
for Kernan demanding the ball. Kernan's on now. That's a fine pass.
Is that Kyle Brennan, is it?
I think it is, yeah. Brennan.
And trying to, but running. That looked like charging, everybody still retains possession.
But here's Stephen Kernan.
And the equaliser. Yes. Equalising score for Crossmaglen. That's taking the best part of 10 minutes.
Yeah, Aaron, that was a very good move. Looked very dangerous as Stephen Kiernan cut in down the end line there, Tony. They had a great attendance here tonight. I mean, I suppose you'd expect that this will be the record attendance for the year, but over 4,000 the Athletic Grounds tonight. It just shows the appeal of these two clubs, Tony, doesn't it?
That's fantastic. That is fantastic attendance for a club match, quarter-final stage. Of course, many people would have liked it to have been the final, but the winners will, of course, be red-hot favourites to lift the title.
Absolutely. Well, there's 6 other teams who are playing over the course this weekend, and they'll all hope to have some sort of a say in it by the time the 20th of October comes. Pearse Ogs on the attack here. This is a fairly dangerous situation.
Forced to shoot from distance, and has he got the accuracy? No.
No, that's 3 or 4 wides in the early stages. I mean, not easy chances by any means, Tony.
No,
but they should be working them into a more scoreable position.
Joe, the amount of possession Pearse Ogs have had, they haven't really worked anywhere near Crossmaglen's goal yet. Crossmaglen's first attack, Stephen Kiernan got right in on goal. So
absolutely, I mean, Stephen Kiernan, very, very dangerous player. Has an excellent kick out there over, to the brother Tony Kiernan. Yep, that's the perfect kick out.
And Tony's
midfielder's able to catch it.
Another great pass.
No, he rushed him. Certainly didn't show the trademark Kiernan composure there. He rushed it. He had plenty more time. Father Joe doesn't look too. I want to say father, of course, his father Joe Kiernan. Where I'm not suggesting that he's entered the clergy, Tony. But,
there's also a father Joe McKeever. I see him down there from Crossmaglen as well. So we don't confuse people.
I don't think he's likely to take on the management in the next. Here we are. Listen.
I don't think Gary Smith's going to be getting too many Christmas cards from Crossmaglen this year, but.
No, but I mean, look, a lot of these decisions are very, very tight calls.
So Sean Moore to Christopher Rafferty.
Christopher Rafferty.
Long ball forward again.
That's done very, very well down there in the corner by
Mark Cullen. Yeah, that's the the Pearse Ogs danger man.
Yeah, Mark Cullen kicked 5 points in last year's county final, and that's a fantastic effort from out the field.
Yeah, Mark notched 1-7 in the previous round against Drummond T, so.
Yeah, I'm not quite.
Sean Clark actually notched the point.
With that. Mark Cullen had the ball, handed it off to Sean Clark. Absolutely excellent point there. And Crossmaglen go forward here. Garvin Carr has laid it off to Hannerty. That's gone as far as Kyle. No, it's not Kyle Carr. It's Callum McComiskey. I think possibly his first touch of the match.
And that will be topped over the bar for the equaliser. So 2 points each. Kyle Brown, yep.
Absolutely. Possibly the game coming a little more free flowing here, isn't it, Tony?
Yeah, but 2 points each, and that's both the right half and the right corner forward have scored for Crossmaglen.
McNamee, of course, another big miss for Crossmaglen tonight. You know, they're missing McNamee, Oisin McConville. Certainly the forwards that they've chosen are going to have to very much step up to the plate here.
Tony Kiernan,
Kiernan, not the greatest pass in the world, but Pearse Ogs will emerge there, and that's
and this is Sean Moore. Yep. Moore forward.
Darn it. So Ross Clark.
Yep.
He's chasing after that one.
Tightly marked.
He's won the free, Ross Clark. It's in a difficult area. He'll probably not go for a score from there, I wouldn't have thought. Almost managed one from a more acute angle, but closer into goals.
And this is Paul Duffy. Yes, Paul Duffy's going to have a go.
He may fancy his chances from this range. Very, very difficult kick though, Tony.
So again, Paul elects to kick the ball off the ground as he did with his previous effort, which just went wide. This will be a major boost now if he could score from here, give his team a major lift.
Yeah, we've almost had a quarter of the match, so no real established pattern, but as Duffy attempts that kick, I think it's going to drop back across the goal very dangerously. I think that's Garvin Carraher again, and he's put it out as far as Tony Kiernan.
And Shea Freeman.
Yeah, Tony tried to get the ball as far as brother Stephen, but
that's
a very good move. Very, very good move. That's Sean Moore, and that is as far as Mark Cullen, and that's gone wide again.
Mark just not finding the accuracy tonight. As I say, he did score 1-7 against Drummond T, Just reading up on the stats before the game, one statistic that caught my eye was Tony Kiernan's 113 for Armagh in the 4 championship games this summer. Now, I know you could argue a couple of them were against lesser opposition, but still not a bad return.
No, definitely not. No, Tony Kiernan's a very, very competent forward. Certainly from the freeze as well. And that's an excellent catch there. A high ball
Carr
drifted in. Yeah, Carr's.
Jared Barton, the captain, reigns supreme. And this is Paul Duffy deep again, I think. Sean Moore seeing a lot of the ball, and Shea Freeman's out here on this near side. Distinctive orange boots.
Absolutely, very much in the arm.
Anto Duffy, yeah. And Duffy back to Rafferty, to his midfield compatriot Moore. Anto Duffy. Oh, that's. I think Pearse Ogs got an opportunity to get the ball forward there.
Absolutely, if you play those sorts of short passes against Cross 5 or 6 times, eventually they'll get the hand in somewhere.
And this is Carr.
Their trademark is direct football. I think they're going to have that's one of the Kiernan brothers having a pop there, and that ball's wide. And
still across, well, obviously it's 2 points each, but still haven't taken the lead as yet.
Absolutely. Paddy McConville's tuned in this evening. Good evening to you, Paddy. He's enjoying the game, and we certainly are here too with Armagh TV. First of 4 championship matches, of course, will be streamed live this weekend. And don't be afraid to get the comments in on Twitter at Armagh_GEA on the forum or the Facebook page.
Yes, you've paid your pound, you might as well have your say. Oh, now Crossmaglen break up the loose breaking ball. And that's a foul on Stephen Kiernan.
Stephen Kiernan fouled.
And this will be Arn, probably an opportunity for
Stephen pointing out something to Guy Smith, the referee. I'm not sure whether he's taking too much regard of it, but this will be Ross. Or sorry, Tony Kiernan with this effort, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this will be Cross's first time in the lead if he's successful. And straight in front of the post, not too far, you would expect him to be.
Absolutely, he's just on the edge of the D. You'd expect this to be a routine kick over the bar for a free taker as competent as Tony Kiernan. And so it proves.
So Crossmaglen take the lead for the first time with half the first half gone. In fact, 17 minutes of the first half gone. Crossmaglen leading by 3 points to 2, but still no established pattern to the game. It's still nip and tuck, and certainly no side asserting total superiority as yet.
No, very little between the teams, Tony. I suppose it's near enough as we expected.
Yep.
Cross starting to dominate.
Arn coming now, Arn Kiernan.
Yeah.
It's into Tony.
Very intelligent.
It's a good move, and there
that's the goal. Martin Ahern with the goal, absolutely trademark Crossmaglen move. I mean, Aaron Kiernan was about 40 yards out. A lot of players would have tried to kick the ball over the bar themselves. He found a teammate. The ball flowed very quickly. Cross attacking at pace, always choosing the right option. It came to Martin Ahern, and he made absolutely no mistake. Right for the ball to the top corner, and that's a crucial score in the context of this game, you think, Tony?
Yeah, Martin Ahern, Fish, I believe his nickname, but he's certainly not acting the call tonight. Great goal. So for all Pearse Ogs early superiority, as Crossmaglen are now lead by 4 points, 1-3 to 0-2.
Absolutely, you can.
And foul there on Johnny Hanratty by Jared Barton.
Any puns for Hanratty, Tony? No.
Haven't thought of it yet. Now, establish here a chance here for Aaron Kieran to make it a 5-point game.
Yeah, very much a family show with the free kicks on the Crossmaglen team.
Which doesn't really reflect the balance of play, it doesn't.
No, but Cross do this so often. They do it so often, Tony. They're masters of of making you pay when you make mistakes or let them get on top.
So it's Aaron, and that's just squeezed in at the near post. So Crossmaglen leading 1-4 to 2 points, and nearly 19 minutes gone. So Crossmaglen justifying their short-priced odds at the moment, Paddy.
Absolutely. I mean, these are crisis moments for Pearse Ogs. Tony, the 5 points down after 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Cross absolutely demolishing them over the last 5 minutes in midfield. There's another ball there. I think the It looked like a 45, but no, the referees waved it wide.
No, it's certainly crucial that they stay in the game and don't let Crossmaglen build up an unassailable lead at the moment.
Absolutely, but they need to get into the game at midfield, Tony. Over the last 4 or 5 kickouts, even though a lot of them have been kicked out by the Ogs goalkeeper, it's still been Crossmaglen are getting their hands on possession, and certainly Joe Kiernan down there will be in. He'll be in very confident mood at this stage. He'll be very pleased with the last 5 minutes. Great catch though there for by Anto Duffy.
Yeah, it's hard to believe this is Joe's first championship game in charge of Crossmaglen for 13 years. This is Sean Moore again. Launching it forward.
That's Mark Cullen on the
Mark
ball.
Cullen, chance to open the scoring. Has he taken too much out of it? No, Gary Smith penalises him for over-carrying. So,
I think
again...
I would agree with the referee there, Tony. I think he did. You know, he was in trouble. He couldn't get the space, couldn't get the opportunity to get the shot away, and the referee was probably right. David Connolly from Scottstown, he thinks that Pearse Ogs may rue those missed opportunities early on, and you certainly couldn't disagree with Mr. Connolly at the minute. And here's Kyle Carragher, one of the danger men for Crossmaglen. There's so many danger men, but excellent tackle there from Barton. Yeah,
he sort of slowed him in his tracks. That's Kyle Brennan picking the ball up. He's running into traffic, but the ball still makes its way through to Carr, and Carr shoots. And certainly Jimmy not being missed too much at the moment.
No, though you'd have expected Kyle Carr to kick that point, but no, I mean certainly there's no doubt the Cross are the team in the county, probably the country that's best equipped to deal with the absence of a fella like Jimmy Clark. But that's what the point is, that Clark is such a mercurial genius that any team's going to miss him. He can do things that other mere mortal players can only dream about. And certainly, over the years, there was the game against Ballymacnabb in the county final. I think Cross scored 20 or 30 points. I think Jimmy only scored a point or two, perhaps not even anything. But he's so intelligent in terms of moving space.
Mark Cullen again is a chance for Pearse Ogs.
Mark Cullen had just flashed that ball wide. That was a real chance, Tony.
That was a chance. That was a first opening, but I think he still will be disappointed he didn't at least get the shot on target and test Paul Hardy. But
absolutely, you only get so many chances.
Certainly, goal chances against Crossmaglen are few and far between.
Yeah, that was wouldn't quite go as far as a gilt edge opportunity. But Greg Mullen's enjoying the game on Armagh TV tonight. Great to have you along with us, Greg. Not sure who he supports. Perhaps he's a neutral. That's it.
It's Johnny Honrady.
Excellent kick. I mean, Paul Hardy's kick out. There's 2 or 3 to a man in space, 60 yards away from him.
Kyle Carr again.
And this looks quite dangerous. Carr has come inside 2 players. That's as far as a Hearn.
And the Hearn notches.
Absolutely, he's joined. The goal has been joined with the point, and that's a very important score. And you really worry with 22 minutes gone on the Athletic Grounds here, Tony. You worry that Pearse Ogs couldn't let this game get away from them.
Well, there was I think 7 points in the county final last year. Now there's 6 at the moment, so they will want to arrest this decline and not let the deficit grow.
Absolutely, but the county final was a different game, and that it was very even throughout, and certainly it was only in the latter stages that Cross opened up a 6 or 7 point lead. This is happening very early here at the minute. Certainly that 8 to 15 in Cross looks like a very, very good bet. Here's another opportunity,
and that's another point. Yes,
that's Aaron Cunningham, isn't it, sir?
It is indeed.
Yeah, Aaron Cunningham, excellent point from.
That's the second point of the game, Aaron. Son of the legendary Joey Cunningham, and I see Joey in the crowd here tonight.
Absolutely, Aaron Cunningham, a fine footballer. Like I suppose all these Crossmaglen lads are. They've so much experience, but they've experience that belies their years. Tony, a lot of these lads in their early to mid 20s, but they've played more football than most people would manage in their careers.
Well, we've spoken about the likes of Oisin retiring and Jimmy, the Craigan Globetrotter, touring the world at the moment. But that does afford the opportunity for younger players to come in and make their mark. Absolutely,
and certainly, if Cross do get players back towards the end of the year, the fellas that are here and that are on the team at the minute, they won't be giving up their places without a fight. There's no doubt about that.
So I suppose from a neutral point of view, the game has deteriorated slightly. It's slightly disappointing that there's such a big lead build up after Pearse Ogs did so well early on. But let's see what happens. There's possibly a few twists and turns yet.
Just quick shout outs as this ball heads out over the line. I think, it's headed over the line. That'll be a Pearse Ogs sideline. Just quick shout out to Amy McGuigan, who has forgone the cocktails in Salou, and she's watching Armagh TV instead. We certainly won't, we'll applaud her decision at this stage, Tony.
Yes, that's very impressive. GA takes preference over all other vices. As Paul Duffy very deep, and this is Shea Freeman now. Can he escape from Stephen Kearnan's clutches?
Yeah, he's been getting forward a lot, Shea Freeman. Look like a tug in the jersey there.
Certainly, yes.
Don't think
using the old experience.
Honest, been given a free. No, I think that was there's some dissension from the ranks in the crowd, but I think Gary Smith got that one spot on. To be fair. And it looks like it's either going to be the number 9 Sean Moore's coming over and going to take this one. Again, very acute angle, difficult. I mean, Pearse Ogs with plenty of chances, Tony, but they don't. They haven't been easy chances at all. And Shea Freeman and Stephen Kiernan are getting connected with each other here.
Crossmaglen have scored 1-5 in succession since Pearse Ogs last score, so it really is time they were working the scoreboard again.
Absolutely, and the one thing you never see Crossmaglen do, Tony, is give away silly yards through descent.
And again, that's just wide. So
yeah, that's again another difficult free. You can't really criticise a fellow. They're not. They're certainly not 50-50 chances.
No.
They're very acute angles where Pearse Ogs are missing. But they need to start getting. They need to get points. Tony, we're 4 minutes away from half time, and the game seems to be slipping away from Pearse Ogs at the minute. And Aaron Cunningham's come out towards again another textbook kick out from Paul Hardy. That's really been a facet of this first half. Carragher
shoulders, but
well,
I thought it was a fair enough shoulder, but
it looked like he came from behind the player. But I thought by the time he made contact with the shoulder, which wouldn't be a free. But here we are, Ross Clark attacking
again, straight into Hardy's hands. No danger of a Kevin Cassidy Ballybofair moment there.
Absolutely not, and that's Stephen Kiernan. They're so composed in possession, Crossmaglen, Tony, aren't they?
They're certainly finding their rhythm now.
And here's Kyle Brannan. Or sorry, Callum Comiskey. I think that's the second time I've done it, so apologies to the Comiskies. That's an excellent effort. And that's just dropped wide. Padraig McGlone is tuned in. He fears the Ogs are kicking themselves out of it at the minute, and there's a certain truth to that. But as I say, not easy opportunities that the Ogs are missing.
Yeah, but I think you have to pay credit to Crossmaglen. Since they took the lead, since they went 3-2 in front, they've found their rhythm, and there's been a constant procession towards the Pearse Ogs goal.
Absolutely, they're on top of midfield. There's no doubt about it. And it's not necessarily the two midfielders. There's so many players in that area as we look out there, and there's eight players in the middle of the pitch waiting on this kick out, and. That's kicked out down the centre again.
It's Kieran McKinney, his counterpart Paul Hardy, a former county goalkeeper.
Absolutely, very very good goal. Here's Aaron Kiernan through. Kiernan's through as far as Hanratty's barging towards goal, and he's been fouled.
Kick, so again,
this looks like Tony Kiernan territory here, Tony. But not to repeat the word too much, but I really think I don't mean to labour the point, Tony, but the kickouts here are a real issue. Crossmaglen are very targeted kickouts down along this down to the stand side of the pitch on 3 or 4 occasions. Pearse Ogs seem to be simply more kicking the ball out towards the middle, more 50-50, whoever win the breaking ball, and I think that really is it really is an issue. And
Pearse Ogs are conceding a lot of cheap frees from scoreable positions for Crossmaglen.
Absolutely, Tony Kiernan here with the kick, isn't it? And he was very unlikely to make any mistake from there. So
Tony's second free, and that makes the score Crossmaglen 1-7, Pearse Ogs 2 points. So an 8-point deficit with just about a minute and a half to go to half time.
Absolutely, it really has been a horror show in the last 20 minutes for Pearse Ogs.
It started so well too. Yeah.
Sarah Campbell and Jason are in the Red Cow in Dublin watching the game, and Sarah's hoping that the Ogs can turn it around. I think from a neutral perspective, we'd all like to see the Ogs get into the game a little more. There was some wild pulling in the middle of the pitch with Gary Smith's going to throw the ball up.
Had a good game, Gary Smith, even if he is from my own club. I have to say he has had a good game. So
Hanratty's excellent strength there, almost grabbed it, and that's Rafferty emerging with the ball. Sean Moore.
Moore forward. Again, that's
a hopeful one.
Those high balls are just meat and drink for the Crossmaglen defence. So there's going to be 1 minute of additional time here. Probably time enough for Crossmaglen to tack on another score.
Yeah, and yet again there we have Aaron Kieran advancing menacingly. He's played that to Hanratty. Hanratty's slightly overcooked. But really, you think even in terms of the Ogs' confidence, Tony, they need to get a point before half time.
Yeah, certainly.
These are crucial moments. Shea Freeman's had a very lively game so far.
He's certainly seen a lot of the ball. So that's Anto Duffy.
Yeah, that's Anto Duffy.
But once again, the Crossmaglen defence win these high balls.
Well, that was an interesting one. The Pearse Ogs player jumped in with it was probably a hefty enough challenge, but he was met by Garvin Carragher. The hand was raised. I'm not quite sure we'll go as far as to say it was a strike, but I mean Gary Smith may want to have a look at that. It was certainly an incident that was initiated by an Ogs challenge, but Gary Smith's talking to here with more sort of more issues breaking out off the ball. Ross Clark was involved with a Crossmaglen player. I'm not quite sure who the Pearse Ogs player is who's down. Yeah,
and one thing we would say, the game is being played in a great spirit.
Absolutely. I mean, there haven't really been any flash points at this stage up until now. As we approach half time, Pearse Ogs need something. They need someone to enlighten them. They need
a confidence booster. They certainly need a score. As I say, Crossmaglen now have scored with 1-6 without replies since Pearse Ogs led by 2 points to 1. So that is, as you say, a horror show from Pearse Ogs.
Absolutely. Gary Smith, he's taking his time over what he's going to do here. I think he's waiting to see the Pearse Ogs player is going to be able to get to his feet. He is. No further action being taken. There's probably little enough in that, Tony. I think that's maybe sensible enough.
Certainly, there's nothing intentional, no.
Yeah. Not a play.
So Sean Moore
breaking towards.
Will this be a score for Pearse Ogs?
No, the final pass didn't go to hand. And there's Johnny
Hanratty again, who
he's turned a lot of the ball. Johnny Henry's had an excellent first half, hasn't he, Tony?
He has indeed. Absolutely brilliant.
Aaron Kieran, another man, and he's been fouled. And this is no messing from Kieran after he's been fouled. He's looking to play on there. He's found the brother in space.
Tony Kieran pumps a long diagonal ball, looking for.
It's Comiskey. Callum Comiskey will not miss him this time.
And Comiskey turns brilliantly. Passes to. Oh, that was a foul, surely. Surely that was a foul.
Certainly looked like a foul, and Joe Kiernan's not one bit happy as we, at the minute, as Pearse Ogs emerged from defence. We've played, there was a minute to be added on, played a minute and a half of that.
Well, there was only going to stop it.
Oh, absolutely, but you'd presume this will be the last Pearse
Ogs attack of the
attack.
First half. And once again, Crossmaglen intercept the intended pass.
And that's a ball to Crossmaglen. Colin McLean, he thinks the Ogs will damage their chances with these balls dropping short and the Crosslove counter-attacking, and that's a
probably a fair summary of the first half.
Absolutely astute enough piece of analysis. And we'll have more. We have another flashpoint over on the far side. Yeah, certainly the ball was signalled for a Crossmaglen ball. Pearse Ogs seem to have possession. Gary Smith will have to go over. No, it's going to be a Crossmaglen ball sideline over on the terrace side of the pitch.
Couldn't be long left of the first half now.
No, they've played 32 and a half minutes. You'd think that this will be the final play, possibly blow it up when this ball's kicked. No, he's going to let it run. Kyle Carr's come in behind.
Jared Barton, too cute to let that bounce beat him. So, what do you make of that, Paddy?
Well, it's I suppose it's been it's been same old in terms of Crossmaglen dominating the championship match here in the athletic grounds. They've been the Pearse Ogs lively enough start.
Yep.
Didn't they missed chances. They weren't gilt-edged chances by any stretch of the imagination. But since the 10th minute on, Tony, there's really only been one team in it, and that's Crossmaglen Rangers. That's our county champions, and they look. People say that they're weakened and they might be vulnerable this year. They don't look too weak or vulnerable out there tonight, do they?
Yes, and I think the message at half time here is that rumours of Crossmaglen's demise are greatly exaggerated. For at half time, they show no signs whatsoever of relinquishing their Armagh or Ulster titles, leading Pearse Ogs on the scoreline of Crossmaglen 1-7, Pearse Ogs 2 points. Now we're going for an interval break, but please join us for the second half to see if Pearse Ogs can turn this situation round. Thank you. Welcome back to Athletic Grounds for the second half of the first of this year's Senior Championship quarter-finals between Crossmaglen and Pearse Ogs. And it's Crossmaglen in the ascendancy, leading by 8 points at half-time on a scoreline of 1-7 to Pearse Ogs 2 points. It goes without saying, Paddy, that Pearse Ogs need to get off to a flying start in the second half.
Absolutely, they're the only chance to have of turning things around this team at Armagh Championship quarter final is by getting a very good start. They're 8 points down. At the minute, it's a difficult one to imagine. It's a difficult one to conceive of that they'll be able to get back into this game. But look, it's a game of football. Stranger things have happened, and perhaps they can do something special in the second half. But you'd have to think that if Pearse Ogs were to win this match, it'd be one of the greatest upsets in Armagh football at this point to see the
one of the greatest comebacks since Lazarus, as the old cliche goes. But
absolutely,
we'll soon find out.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, everybody, for donating their £1 Armagh TV to watch us live tonight. We hope you enjoy the show. Don't be afraid to get the comments in on Twitter at Armagh_GEA, and also on Facebook and the forum. So
Pearse Ogs on the attack, badly needing a score here.
It's Ross Clark over on the far side. He's seen a fair bit of possession.
A bit of a hospital ball between, but they've won the free, so that's slightly an encouraging start.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, this is a very scoreable one. They've had a lot of free kicks in the in the first half. There were difficult chances. You really think that if they're going to get back into this game, these are the chances they have to take.
Certainly, it will be soul destroying if this is missed. So it's Mark Cullen, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Noted for his accuracy from free. So this to reduce the deficit to 6. And yes, he's made it. Yes,
it was high, but it was handsome. So that's 45 seconds in, and Mark Cullen has the opening point of the half for a free for Pearse Ogs,
and that was badly needed.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think you can underestimate. I know we've talked about Jamie Clark being missing. I don't think you can underestimate the impact that the loss of Shorty Clark has had on this Pearse Ogs team. When you have the large squad that Crossmaglen do, you are better able to compensate losses, for losing these players.
So again, the traffic moving in the direction of the Crossmaglen goal, which is what Pearse Ogs want and need, and they've won another free. So presumably this will give Cullen another chance to reduce the deficit further.
Absolutely, this is exactly the start that the Pearse Ogs needed. Understand, Tony, that we're being watched live in the Kelly Haviland Hotel in Enniskillen, that there's a Pearse Ogs wedding going on. So congratulations to Michael Prunty and Claire Carson, whose the sister of Pearse Ogs' Michael Carson. So I'm sure the family are tuned in, that they've had the dinner, and this is something of the after dinner entertainment, and that's slightly more entertaining from a Pearse Ogs point of view, because they've landed their second point of the half, and they've reduced the deficit from 8 to 6, Tony.
And no doubt this will be the most important thing the happy couple do tonight.
I think I'll have a no comment on that one, Tony. Absolutely, this is a family show, obviously.
So it's Hanratty again. So 2 points to start the second half. That's encouraging for Pearse Ogs anyway.
Absolutely. Daniel Callahan on the ball, and he's there. Hanratty's had a monster of a game.
Kyle Garr again.
Yeah, down as far as Carr
turns.
Looking, the unselfish ball.
I would suggest that's the end of the match.
That was
Tony Kiernan.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Kyle Carr. So
again, Kyle Carr. A lot of players want to take it on the shot. He saw Kiernan bursting through. It's the vision, Tony. It's the vision, the teamwork, and
exactly.
And it all came to fruition there. And after the decent start that Oaks had made, they're right back to square one. They're now 9 points down, and these really are difficult times for the Armagh City men.
I would suggest that's the end of the match.
Well, we'll not quite pack up and go home yet, Tony, but I mean, certainly from a
neutral point of view, yeah. We expected a much closer contest, but
this is Martin Ahern tracking back in his own half-back line, and he's found
Stephen Finnegan.
Yep.
Finnegan moving forward. Oh, and that's a wayward pass, but again, Pearse Ogs not really able to make it count, but they've won a free kick.
No, I mean Cross has just been the better team over since about the 10-minute mark. Yep. Paul Duffy's launched a long one in. It's no good, unfortunately, and that's been swept up.
There's no point in waiting for a Crossmaglen defender to miss those sort of balls or meat and drink. Yeah.
Martin Ahern coming down the stand side in front of us. He's played a long ball down towards Aaron Cunningham. That's a nicely weighted pass.
It's the accuracy of the passing, yeah.
Yeah, that's back to danger man Carragher. He's drawn
another free kick.
Shane Ruan in Drumcondra, he's tuned in all the way from Dublin's First City this evening, and he's enjoying the Armagh Championship, and we're certainly glad to have you along with us, Shane. Shane O'Neill was on the Twitter on half time suggesting that wanted to shout out to some Pats men, and Martin Rooney, I know, is watching the game, so the best of luck to all of those lads. We've now a Crossmaglen free kick, very scoreable position here from Tony Kerr. You wouldn't really expect him to make a mistake here, would you?
Carrying his good summer scoring form into the club championships.
I understand Jared Barton picked up a yellow card in the midst of all of that.
Put 10 between them if it's successful. Oh, hits a crossbar.
It's bounced away. You'd expected Kieran to miss that, you'd expect him to score that one, though whether it's going to turn out to be a costly miss or not is yet to be seen. But the winner of the half-time draw for £100, that's Jenny Rafferty, 36 Ardmore Drive, Armagh, and congratulations to Jenny on her prize. Long ball out the middle of the field, Tony, and that's again punched away.
It's Crossmaglen. It's really turning into another possession towards the Pearse Ogs goal.
Yeah, Danny O'Callaghan's played that free in towards, and that's a
long free kick
way out. And that's just drifted wide. It was an excellent effort from that.
The umpires had to just take their time to make the decision there, so Pearse Ogs making a substitute.
No Hawkeye here, of course, and that's number 9 is going to be withdrawn, which is Sean Moore, and former Armagh County player John Paul Donnelly, the former Harps man. He's on for Pearse Ogs here tonight. And he was a very, very important member of the team that got the county final last year. Not involved from the start tonight, but he'll be hoping to make an impact. And he's on to Johnny Hanratty. Johnny Hanratty having been doing a lot of damage. Perhaps no surprise that the man who's marking him has been withdrawn, and it's probably a testament more to the brilliance of Hanratty's play rather than any reflection on the player that's been withdrawn.
Even so, Moore had a blistering start to the game, but that just goes to show you.
Yeah, on us.
But certainly Pearse Ogs need to do something to stem the tide.
Absolutely, Johnny Hanratty won the free there.
Just sizing up opportunities. It's long ball for the full forward Kyle Carr again, and is he fouled?
Oh, he was, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, once again, it's been the bane of Pearse Ogs' game, considering easy frees like that, cheap frees, which more often than not Crossmaglen are able to put over the bar. So looks like it's going to be Aaron this time.
Absolutely, I think I would certainly.
This will be Aaron's second point.
With the decision there from the referee, Carr was being held.
So this to put 10 between them. It will be Aaron's second point of the game if he succeeds.
That's it. Tony Karen with the free.
Tony, is it?
I think it's Tony. Difficult to tell the brothers apart. Of course, I think Tony's a wee bit taller maybe than he's the tallest of the Karens. Of course, the father was a tall man. A very scoreable opportunity here, and that's the
straight over the bar. So that puts 10 points between the teams. Crossmaglen leading 2-8 to 0-4.
7 minutes gone in the second half.
And you would really, at this stage, Paddy fear for Pearse Ogs, really.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 points down, 23 minutes to go against the great Crossmaglen team. It's not even the 10-point deficit, Tony, so much as the pattern of the game over the last half hour.
It must be soul destroying for Pearse Ogs.
I mean, the Crossman's totally on top of midfield. That's funny, they very much say, Tony, that the midfield battle isn't as crucial in Gaelic football anymore, and that's no doubt that's right at inter-county level. But the style of football the Crossmaglen play, very much more traditional than most teams. Just looking out there, we can see six Crossmaglen forwards, inside the 45, and it very is, absolutely, an old-fashioned style to play. They occasionally will utilise the sweeper during a match, but it's not a regular tactic by any means. And certainly,
I suppose at this stage we need a Pearse Ogs goal to just liven things up.
Absolutely. That's what was Kyle Carragher in possession here.
Again, willing to come out a wee bit deeper. Turns his man brilliantly, feeds it in. Turns and over the bar, off the post over the bar. Kyle Brennan.
Kyle Brennan.
That's his second point of the game.
And certainly, Tony, so far, there was quite a bit of the players that aren't here for Crossmaglen tonight. The boys that have taken the jerseys, they're absolutely stepping up to the plate. The likes of Kyle Carr, Kyle Brennan, who would have been involved a lot in recent season, but not necessarily on the start of 15. But they're certainly playing. They're certainly playing their utmost tonight.
And of course, Kyle Carr sent off against St Bridget's in the All Ireland semi-final last year, but that hasn't made an adverse impact on his performance tonight. So we have a free kick here, I think, for Pearse Ogs.
I suppose very much, whether Joe's going to have decisions with players coming back. I know Joe's attitude will probably be, keep yourself right, and that if there's a player, there's a player who's on the team, he's playing well, I'm sure he'll be retaining his position, and that's the beauty of Crossmaglen Rangers from their point of view, Tony. That the quality that they have on the subs bench, that if you're not performing the first 15, there'll be somebody who'll come along and take your place. Certainly, and be glad of it.
Certainly keeps you on your toes. This is Mark Cullen with the chance to notch his third point of the game, which he does, and reduces the deficit to 10 points. That's Mark Cullen's third point of the game. So still hard to see any way back for Pearse Ogs, Paddy.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head earlier, Tony. They need a goal. They need a goal, and they need the game to turn around. The way things are going at the moment, they're living off scraps at midfield. There's the occasional foray forward, but they're not putting Cross under any level of sustained pressure. There's another ball out towards Johnny Hannerty. He got the hand to
Stephen Finnegan.
And young
sweeps
Finnegan's on the ball. The fiddler, I think they call him. I'm not sure if that's a musical thing.
We'll hope so. They're so composed all over the field, so confident. And certainly in no mood to relinquish their Armagh titles.
Absolutely,
yeah, you would have thought, good point, that this is Crossmaglen's first game in the championship, whereas Pearse Ogs have had the advantage of a game previously against Drummond, but it really doesn't seem to have stood them in any great stead. Of course, it was an easy enough victory too.
Yeah, but we've seen this so many times before in the past. Crossmaglen know how to play themselves into the championship. I suppose I think they've openly admitted in the past that they train and sometimes to peak in October, November time for Ulster, but they certainly haven't taken Pearse Ogs lightly tonight, and they're producing some of their best football.
That was Aaron Kern with a free kick from a obtuse angle, but hasn't made it. So Crossmaglen still lead 2-9 to 5 points. That's a 10-point lead.
Absolutely. Well, Colin McLean suggesting, Tony, that teams across Ulster are going to be shaken after this performance. Never doubt Crossy says they always prevail, and certainly of 16 out of 17 times over the last number of years he's been right in terms of the Armagh Championship. And of course, they're going for 3 in a row in Ulster. No team has ever done 4 in a row in Ulster, and I'm sure that's a name for them for the season. I wouldn't say they're looking past the Armagh Championship yet, but
I think I agree. They're sending out a very strong signal here tonight that they're not to relinquish either title easily.
No, Paul Hughes, it's a fine ball up towards Aaron Cunningham. Cunningham didn't. I think he slightly mishit that, but Kyle Carr is going to try and make the best of it. It's dropped as far as Brennan.
Yeah, that's the difference too. Crossmaglen can make the boss even of a wee bit wayward passes, whereas Pearse Ogs struggle all the time to.
They're struggling at the ball out of defence just at the moment.
Yes, the pressure on the ball from 2 or 3 crossmen all over the field, that's paying dividends as well.
Mervyn Breen's enjoying the excellent coverage tonight. Good to have you along with us, Mervyn. And again, of course, we'll thank all of our donators this evening. We're delighted to have you along with Armagh TV. We hope that you're going to be here with us for the other 3 championship matches this weekend. Ballymacnabb versus Greenmore at 7 p.m. tomorrow. St Patrick's Collyhannou take on Sarsfields at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and at 3:45 is the turn of Cruppen and Mahary. But Pearse Ogs in the attack here, Tony.
No, I think he's lost possession again. Again, the pressure put on the man in possession by the Crossmaglen players all over the field.
Yeah, harmlessly out there for a wide. And get your comments in, folks. On Twitter, it's the @Armagh_GAA. It's on the Armagh forum, www.armagh-gaa.net, and on the Facebook page as well. We're happy to take the comments, and we hope you're all enjoying the match, even though I suppose a lot from a neutral perspective. We'll like a slightly closer game. We had a very, very tight game a couple of weeks ago, Tony, between Sheernogh and the Grange.
We had.
Unfortunately, it went to the last minute. At the minute, you couldn't suggest that this game will be any doubt at injury time.
The game involving your own club, Collyhannou and White Cross, in the previous round was very tight as well.
Absolutely, and Collyhannou were very lucky to come through that game.
But again, on wayward pass from Mark Cullen straight to a Crossmaglen defender.
Yeah,
that's really the difference.
That's Aaron Kiernan. Yeah, Aaron Kiernan has picked up an injury there. He's limping away, and it doesn't look in too good a state, I must say. Possibly an ankle. He'll be coming out there. There'll be some treatment. Physio's coming out to treat him.
Yeah, Joe not quite emptying the benches yet, even though they've a 10-point lead.
No, and I noticed Daly O'Callaghan doesn't seem too concerned about his teammate. He's gone ahead with the free kick, and he's marched up the free. He's marched up the pitch himself, and he's 45 metres after he hit the ball kick. He's put the ball in towards
Kyler and Brennan again.
Yeah, and that's
you concede to 50.
No, that's dealt with by Pearse Ogs.
Kieran McKinney.
And we're heading into
Conradi again.
Absolutely. Garvin Carr is a very good game tonight, hasn't he, as well?
There hasn't really been a failure in the Crossmaglen team, you have to say, all over the pitch. That's Stephen Kern, I think, is it?
Possibly was one of the Kiernan boys anyway. I think it was again. Tony, just wide. And 15 minutes to go, Tony. It's not edge of the seat stuff, unfortunately. But even so, big Pat Christie's tuned into us tonight. He's getting ready for a big night at the Tongues night at the races tomorrow. So best of luck with all of that. To Pat Christie and John McStay and all the rest of the people at Wolf Tongues. They were obviously disappointed a couple of weeks ago with a match against Madden. But hopefully they'll brighten the spirits with a good night tomorrow night.
This is roughly for Pearse Ogs. Redberg.
Here's McLaughlin on the ball. Malachy McLaughlin, that's a great burst through, but he hasn't been able to find the finish, unfortunately.
Good run through, not too far away, but...
Absolutely, and I've been reminded that it's not all doom and gloom up in Derrymacash, that they're under 16 county champions, despite the match against Madden a couple of weeks ago. So things are going well on that part of the Loch Shore. Yeah, but there's a short bit in the Athletic in the Cathedral City here tonight. It's Callahan on the ball again, and that's as far as Finnegan.
And that ball's going to run out for a Pearse Ogs sideline ball.
Really, it's
really winding down to
it's petering out this game, unfortunately, Tony. We all came here looking for a rip-roaring tussle between the two, but sadly, at the minute, that's not what we've been treated to. And
again, but straight in the hands of a Crossmaglen defender.
It's a wayward ball, and that's going to be
Cunningham. Yep.
Yeah, Cunningham. That's a decent pass there.
It'll be won by the cross or by the Pearse Ogs defender.
Shoulder struck. Yeah.
Chef Freeman. Carrying down. Freeman's been lively and hasn't given up.
Absolutely, very, very difficult for the Pearse Ogs lads here tonight, Tony. They'll have come with hope in their hearts and pride in their eyes. But I think I maybe have mixed up the metaphor there. But the point being that they were very much hoping to put it up the cross tonight, but it just hasn't shown that. Anto Duffy's maybe going to do something here. It's off the.
Really sums up Pearse Ogs night.
Yeah.
No, they did start off very well. I think that purple patch Crossmaglen had from the 10th minute to the end of the first half, that really just blew them out of the water, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Crossmaglen are so clinical. They're so clinical. They got on top of the match, and it's certainly not a place that they've relinquished as of yet.
The big question is, Paddy, can you see anyone stopping them, or anyone even giving them a decent challenge?
Well, I looked at the odds of the championship as a whole before I came to Armagh tonight, Tony. Some bookmaking firms were offering 4 to 5 before tonight and Cross to win the Armagh Championship. And
seems like extremely generous.
Well, I suggest that you wouldn't be getting 4 to 5 this evening on them. I wouldn't want to. They're put like this. There are going to be 6 teams playing this weekend. Greenmore, team that have been there or thereabouts. Ballymacnabb have to right a few wrongs against Crossmaglen. They'll feel they owe them one.
Kyle Brennan, I think.
Kyle Brennan looks like he's gonna.
That's another point. So that's 2-10 to 5 points. An 11-point lead.
Actually, great spread of the Crossmaglen scores here tonight. Everybody seems to be chip out in. Kyle Brannan's got a couple. Aaron Cunningham's had a brace. Martin Ahern's got the goal on the point. Aaron Kearns won the score sheet.
Tony's
on the
got
score sheet. The problem with the Rangers is you wrap up 1 or 2 men and there's 3 or 4 that pop up to. It's a fine fetch there from Pearse Ogs in the midfield.
Yeah, they're still keeping going.
I suppose there's nothing else for it. I mean, there's a wee bit. There's Darnell Parkinson. I think he's run into a little bit of traffic there, but he'll try and extradite himself from that position.
But once again, an opportunity.
Mark Cullen, I think, on the ball again. He's had an effort, but no, sadly, again, that's sailed the right and wide.
Tight marking Crossmaglen defence. Pearse Ogs do get possession up forward. They work so hard to get the shooting opportunity, and nearly more often than not they're under that much pressure. They just cannot find the accuracy.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's no quarter given by Crossmaglen here, and they really are. I mean, this is a hugely impressive performance, and it's certainly it's one that'll send shockwaves out throughout the county.
Yeah. I think I never remember them, certainly in this last 17, 18 years, entering a game where they appeared so vulnerable, but they've dealt with it magnificently.
Absolutely. And that's been the Crossmaglen. The Masters are reinventing themselves, Tony. We'll talk about the 16 out of 17. Tonight with Oisin gone, that's the last link to the team in '96. I think I stand to be corrected, but I'm fairly certain that the last link to the team in '96.
I think Paul Hardy might have been sub goalkeeper, but certainly he's the last playing link.
Yeah, we have a bit of a shamozzle, as the great me Olimar Hartig would have
JP
said.
Donnelly on the break.
Donnelly's found it as Clark. No, JJ Clark's aggressively gone for that, but it's been cleared by Crossmaglen. The crowd are exercising about something. I'm not quite sure what that is, but the Crossmaglen team don't seem to exercise anything at the minute, and they're a team in complete control at this stage, Tony.
10 minutes to go, 11-point lead. I'm afraid that looks like an inevitable outcome.
Absolutely. Here's Callum Comiskey on the ball.
Don't think Callum's got on the score sheet tonight, so a wee bit of incentive to make his mark.
Absolutely. And the ball's gone.
Possession.
Yeah, 10 point or 11 points in it at the minute. Tony, I sincerely doubt there'll be 11 points in it tomorrow night between Ballymacnabb and Great by any stretch of imagination.
Tasty looking local derby. So
absolutely.
It's JP Donnelly again. Seen quite a lot of the balls since coming on as a sub.
Absolutely, very effective player. Aaron Kiernan, I think it was stopped him there. It's an excellent effort, but it's dropped just wide.
Just wide. Again, sums up Pearse Ogs' night.
Yeah, 10 minutes left here. The athletic grounds seems to be reaching a fairly inevitable conclusion. And here's, I think that's Franny Hanratty, who's entering the fray.
Starting to empty the bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
So must reckon that. Francis Hanratty.
Well, Franny Hanratty's away to warm up. I'm sure he's going to be introduced, and you'd expect 2 or 3 of the Crossmaglen substitutes to be introduced over the next 10 minutes.
The question is, if Jimmy was to come back, say for the semi-final, would he be guaranteed of a starting place?
Well, I don't think he would. I certainly don't think he would start the first game. Last year the precedent was set. I think it was the Carrickcruppen game that he came back for. Was the county semi-final, the semi-final, the quarter-final. Jamie came back from America. Didn't start the first day he came back. Started in the county final, scored 2-2. So Crossmaglen, they certainly know how to manage their players. I understand actually, Tony, that Jamie Clark's in the crowd this evening. So no doubt he'll be looking at his teammates, delighted with the score, and thinking that by the time October, November, and the semi-finals roll round, that he'll maybe be out there assisting Crossmaglen. But great to see Jimmy back in the country. He's a very important player for Armagh as well.
County, yeah. Well, of course, on this display anyway, you wouldn't bet against it all ending again for Crossmaglen on St Patrick's Day.
No, definitely not. I mean, they look as good tonight as they've ever looked. I think really, when we look at the Pearse Ogs team, Tony, the strength and depth maybe just isn't there compared to what Crossmaglen have. As I say, when we look at the team that started for Pearse Ogs last year in the county final,
that looks like Aaron coming off, is it? Or 20 for Franny Hanratty? No,
that's Aaron Cunningham.
Aaron Cunningham.
Yeah, Aaron Cunningham's off. Franny Hanratty's on.
It was Aaron, but not the right Aaron, I thought.
Absolutely. Well, you were halfway there, Tony. So don't be too
JP
harsh on
again.
yourself. Yeah.
Shea Freeman again has had a good game.
Yeah, he certainly has. He certainly hasn't given up. Shea Freeman. He's been up and down that line doing his best for his charges. This Rafferty, and that's going to drop short, Tony. That looks like a free out. I think that was a frustrated challenge, but no, Jared Smith hasn't blown. He's blown now because it's gone wide.
All the one-on-ones Crossmaglen are winning hands down and have done really all night, certainly from the 10 minutes onwards.
They're winning their individual battles, no doubt about that. The point is making about Pearse Ogs. If you look at the team that started last year, they're missing their 2 cornerbacks and 2 wing half backs.
Andy Mallon is certainly a big miss.
Absolutely. Mallon's gone. Shorty Clark wasn't available. It's just very difficult for a team like Pearse Ogs. Very few teams can handle that sort of that sort of turnover in personnel, and I've no doubt that this will hurt the Ogs. What's happened here tonight, and no doubt they'll want to right the wrongs in 2014. But
I think at the very least they could have aspired to reducing the deficit from the final last year. But
with a slight off the ball incident here involving Aaron Kiernan and an Ogs player. We don't know. I think this is unseemly scenes here in. Not sure if there's something of a. We'll keep an eye on the play here. Franny Hannery's looking to make his, and he's gone through.
Oh, he's got the
and he's chipped one over the. He's chipped one over there. Absolutely bizarre scenes. The athletic ground.
Yes, the referee hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, Franny. Oh, there's a kick. There was a kick thrown there.
And really, there's
no need for this. Absolutely none. We had absolutely farcical situation there, Tony, where Franny Hannery was playing on. Yeah. He was chipping the ball over the bar. Yet we had a dozen or more players from Crossmaglen and Pearse Ogs involving themselves in.
I suppose to be fair to Gary Smith, he was following the play, but
no, there's very little the referee can do.
It seems to have settled down.
There's very little the referee can do when 12 fellas take it on themselves to start a bit of a racket there.
Consulting the linesman here, so let's hope common sense prevails.
Yeah. I mean, there was certainly there was a boot raised at one stage there. I'm sure the linesman was looking. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I mean, certainly the last thing Crossmaglen wants will be suspensions heading towards the county semi-final. It's a
by 11 points.
It's what they would call a routine. So it's interesting. Anyway. Guys, but he has two players identified. I think that is.
Donnelly, is it?
Yeah. I'm not sure whether he wants to see a Crossmaglen player as well.
It wouldn't be the first time JP was in trouble from a disciplinary point of view, but.
Well, I'll let you comment on that one. I plead the Fifth Amendment on that one, Tony. But certainly, guys, certainly giving him a stern enough talking to, and it's red.
Red card.
It's red, and JP's.
That's really. Pearse Ogs' night of misery is complete now.
Absolutely, but we're not. I don't think we're finished here with the disciplinary action.
Ross Clark, actually.
Yes, you've pinned Pearse Donnelly in the wrong. Ross Clark, he seems very animated on the.
Oh, this is two men coming off.
Yeah. I think I saw a substitute. A substitute was coming on there for Ross Clark. He's about to be substituted, but he's been since sent for the pitch. Since sent from the pitch.
I think we're just trying to preempt the inevitable there, but.
And now we have number 23 coming on for Pearse Ogs. That's Ryan Trainers entering the fray.
Who's coming off?
I'm not quite sure at this stage. Blood substitution number 13 for Pearse Ogs, who's Mark Cullen. And the referee is going down perhaps to consult with his umpire, so perhaps the disciplinary action isn't quite finished here. Just while we're waiting for Gary Smith to consult with his umpires, special load of the Helsinki Harps all the way from Finland, Tony.
That's amazing.
They're playing on the 5th of October against Olu Elks in the most northern game of Gaelic football ever. The boys on the Loch Shore, the far side of the Loch Shore, they only think that they're up towards the North Pole there. Helsinki Harps, the two Armagh players on their team, Declan McManus from Pearse Ogs and Tony McDonald from Newton Hamilton. Both lads have done really well for Helsinki in the Scandinavian Championships against Stockholm, Oslo and Gothenburg. Up Helsinki Harps and up Armagh.
That's
fantastic. Thank us for the great stream, and we're of course very thankful to everybody who's tuned into us today, and also to the sponsors of the Armagh Championship, Team Met.
Team Met, yes, and of course, like with the price of things in Finland, the pound will seem very modest.
Yeah. Paul Hartley, I understand, has been given a yellow card. I suppose there was no real need for Paul Hartley to advance 45 yards from his goal to involve himself there, so he's probably only got himself to blame, Tony, if truth be told.
It's not worth getting exercised about at this stage with an 11-point lead with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, well, 2.5 minutes of normal time. It really is. It really has petered out. There's been a sense of inevitability all second half, unfortunately, Tony.
Yeah, since the second goal went in early in the second half, it certainly has been a foregone conclusion.
The Oaks got the start they wanted in the second period. They got the couple of points. Crossmaglen, they're the masters of timing. They're the masters of timing. and they got the goal. That really killed off any possibility of a shock outcome here. And the game has
petered out, really.
Yeah, it has petered out, and it's been the poorer for it, really. But this is the Crossmaglen aren't in the business of entertaining us.
No, is this?
They're in the business of winning
winning
championship matches. But of course, there will be great entertainment on Armagh TV over the weekend. Ballymacnabb versus Greenmore, 7 p.m. tomorrow. St Patrick's Cullyhanna plays Sarsfields, 2 p.m. on Sunday. 3:45 is the clash of Mahary and Carrickcruppen, and we really hope you'll all join us for those games.
That's Paul Duffy here. Pearse Ogs a chance to salvage some pride if they get a late score, and that's going to be a free kick, I think. Yeah.
Kieran Boylan and Conor Darby, they're tuned in all the way from Cambridge in England, and it's great to have you along with us, lads. We hope you're enjoying the stream. So, will Pearse Ogs have the distinction of getting the game's last score at least, salvage some pride? Yeah, it's been it's very difficult for Pearse Ogs. Sometimes these, you train all year, you get up on the dark evenings in January, they put in unbelievable effort, and just some nights it just doesn't work for a team.
Yeah, I just wonder how much Crossmaglen's reputation has contributed here. When they get their noses in front, do they intimidate other teams? Or is it the reputation still intimidates teams?
I think it does. I think there's no doubt that it does, Tony. Though I suppose, ironically, the one team that maybe it shouldn't,
Pearse Ogs, yeah.
They shouldn't dominate is Pearse Ogs, because they are the one team with distinction having beaten Cross in the last 17 years. But
Mark
they're not going to do it tonight.
A rare point for Pearse Ogs, so that reduces the deficit to 10. But
that's his third point in the second half. Third point for Mark Hull in the second half. Third point of the game. Sean Clark and Anto Duffy were the other players on the score sheet for Pearse Ogs.
So it's
10 points deficit, Tony.
Yeah.
And that's a free.
Kick,
yes, I think. Well, Hannerty's been given the free.
I think, to be fair, Gary Smith's had a good game. He hasn't missed too much.
No, I think man of the match time, Tony. If you were going to nominate one player, unfortunately we don't have the nice bottle of champagne that sometimes have on Sky Sports. But
for me, it has to be Johnny Hanratty. He's been involved in so much things and has really dominated midfield.
Absolutely. And here's again Aaron Kiernan. What a ball!
Just way.
But again, that was everything that's good about Crossmaglen football was exhibited in that little move.
Direct play.
Aaron Kiernan, 90% of footballers in the country that topped over an easy point. He had the vision. He saw a teammate in a better position. Saw the possibility of a goal. I remember once it said to me, I think it was Joe Brawley said, Sean O'Neill once said to him that this talk of take your goal or take your point, the goal will come. Absolute load of rubbish. You only ever go for a point if there's no chance of getting a goal, and that was the attitude Kiernan had there.
Oh, bringing on two substitutes, which I don't really see the sense of at this late stage, but
I suppose it's. Kiva McKee, she's tuned into us this evening. Says hello to Father Jimmy, Armagh's great referee. Absolutely, Jimmy McKee's been a great stalwart of Armagh football over the years. Tony, delighted to have the McKee family joining us tonight.
That's Shay Harney and Paul Duggan have just come on.
We're a minute into injury time here in the athletic grounds. Well, it's been a poor night for the Armagh faithful. Crossmaglen won't.
You see, even at the end there with Orange Pass, they're still looking for goals, even though they're 10, 11 points in front. They're still hunting for goals.
Absolutely, they're playing the game like there's only a point on it.
You've got to have that degree of ruthlessness.
Absolutely, and Joe Kiernan, Joe to a certain extent put his reputation on the line. Tony coming back to Crossmaglen this year, Joe Kiernan had nothing to prove to anybody in Armagh. He'd won the 3 All-Irelands. He'd won the All-Ireland for Armagh, of course, that memorable day in 2002. He put his reputation on the line, and he's taken this Crossmaglen team, and they certainly don't look any the poorer for it.
I don't think Joe's quite living when he's out of football, out of management. But hard to imagine it's 13 years since he's been at the helm of Crossmaglen. Just wonder where the time goes.
Absolutely, and here's JJ Clark is advancing, and that's and again excellent foot in from it, and that's the referee's blown has he blown the final whistle? No, we're going to play on with the 45.
So.
It's 32 minutes gone.
Game, I would have
thought. Well, there was a 3-minute break, I suppose, at the end of the match, but we'll stay tuned after the game. We'll try and wrap up with the comments. We'll maybe have a quick look forward to the three games and over the weekend. 3 very exciting games on Armagh TV, and here we are.
John Paul, is it? John Paul Donnelly?
Christopher Kane's entered the fray as well, number 11.
JP Donnelly's got
JP
a
Donnelly's
point.
hit one from range.
Unfortunately, it's too little, too late.
Very much so at this stage. Tony takes to a certain extent some measure of consolation for the Ogs lads, but this has been a very disappointing game for the.
Yeah, you certainly. We all anticipate a tight tussle, but it certainly hasn't materialised whatsoever. It's been a procession really for Crossmaglen from the 10th minute onwards.
Absolutely, and I suppose all Cross are going to be worried about now is who they get in the next round, and I suppose it won't matter to them who they get. They'll be expecting to go out and to progress a lot further in this competition. Young Callum Comiskey on the ball here. Over to Martin Ahern, the goal scoring hero in the first half.
Very quiet in the second half, but
in and out of the game. But he took us whenever he was needed. He certainly took his scores very effectively.
That was a super goal in the first half he got.
Also, Shea Freeman, the effervescent Shea Freeman tonight, Tony. He's been up and down the pitch. He's one of the Pearse. You can certainly hold his head up high tonight, young Freeman, but. Unfortunately, not going to be a happy.
It's not going to be happy.
Paul Duggan on the ball now. Anthony Duffy. Anto's had an effort there. I think that's
well
going to trail wide. Yeah. 34 minutes played of injury time.
2-10. So Crossmaglen 2-10. Pearse Ogs 0-7. And really, you wouldn't have anticipated the score like that before the game, Paddy. 9-point lead.
No, absolutely not. I mean, as I said before the game, the county final, there was 7-0 last season, but it was a completely different game. It was a game that was very tight for 50 minutes. Unfortunately, tonight's game was only tight for 10-15, and comprehensive Crossmaglen, comprehensive Crossmaglen victory. I know there's some people I know had Crossmaglen -2 on the handicap tonight. They'll have collected their money, and those that back Crossmaglen at 4-5 to win the county championship will be feeling very smart. There's county manager Paul Grimley just walking out in front of us, Tony, and you think maybe some of the younger Crossmaglen players will be. Paul Grimley be eyeing them up for a move into county football next year.
Kyle Carr was very prominent, but really there wasn't a failure. Johnny Hanratty, I think, must have done his case some good tonight.
Absolutely, very effective player, Johnny Hanratty. Works well in that cross system, but I suppose there's not a lot more to say about the game tonight, Tony. Unfortunately, it was something of an anticlimax. Yeah, we came here hoping for a titanic struggle, but really it was the Giants of Crossmaglen that came through. And that's the way the game has gone. Now, of course, this isn't. We're not just a Friday night show here on Armagh TV. We have the games coming up. We enjoyed the game as best we could tonight in the athletic grounds. But we're delighted to announce that, contrary to what the initial information was during the week, we are now showing live the game between Grainmore and Ballymacnab at 7 p.m. tomorrow. And just taking that one first, Tony. We all know Grainmore, a team that have been building up in recent years in the championship, always a strong side, over the last 4 or 5 years. Huge blow for them 2 years ago when their neighbours beat them in the county semi-final and got to that county final before they did. Would you fancy Grainmore to reverse that result tomorrow night?
I saw Grainmore against Harps here a few weeks. They were very impressive that night. So again, 50-50 game, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I'd probably just about go for Grainmore. They were very much the underdogs. At in the first game against Harps, but they blew Harps away that night. I know you were commentating on that game, and I think that'll be a difficult team to stop. And then we're on to the second game. Maybe let you introduce the second game, the second game that's left. What I would call the big game, Tony, but not everybody would agree with me.
That's Cullyhanna against Sarsfields. Well, I think you'd have to fancy your own club there without being too biased.
Well, the thing is that certainly if you'd watched us against Whitecross, you wouldn't be fancying us possibly against anybody. Perhaps Sarsfields are. We look at the league table earlier. Sarsfields were safe from relegation, more earlier than we were. We are, we have certainly the players. We have, very. A couple of very good. Robbie Tasker had a fantastic game the last day.
The county captain Kieran McKeever. So
absolutely, but what Sarsfields have been lying on wait for us now for months and months. It'll be their first game of the season, and they beat us comprehensively in Cullyhanna in the league. They have a decent record against us, and I really wouldn't like to think that game's pretty much a 50-50 affair too. I'm hopeful, very much that the heart says Cullyhanna, the head thinks that there's going to be a point or two in it at the end, Tony.
And then the final game, Mahary against Carrickcruppen. Now, Mahary would be my dark horses now that Pearse Ogs have gone, but they did struggle against Killeavy in the last round.
Absolutely, yeah, and that probably surprised me a bit. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, I hope I don't offend anybody in Camla by suggesting that Mahary would have the probably better players 1 to 15 than Carrickcruppen. But championship football isn't all about it's about who's the best team in the day, not who's the best team on paper. But I would expect, having said that, with the Laveries, with the Falkers, they have a very strong team. Mahary are a side that they're sitting atop the senior league at the moment, and they'll be playing